Hey everybody, it's Crystal with Crystal's Diversity Creations. So y'all know that embroidery and bling had to try my hand at that. I was just loving all the cute designs everybody was doing. So I went ahead and did this one right here. Yes, Faith. I was just having a wonderful time doing that. So I want to take you and show you how I did it. I actually used Embrilliance. That is where I set up the design. And then out of Embrilliance, I went to Artipelli to convert it to an SVG, then over to Silhouette to create the bling effect, and then finally over to Cricut to cut it. So let's take a look and do this together. Come on. Okay, so this is the file we're going to be using for our design. So it's a faith design made into a heart, which I really like. And one of the most important things that we have to do for this type of merger between the embroidery and the rhinestones is to make sure that we're keeping our size integrity throughout the whole process, because if one is too small or too big or off, it'll throw off the whole marriage of the two different media. So you want to make sure that you're writing down and capturing at all times anytime you have some sizing information. So when we begin, it's a 5.5 by 8-inch design, and it shows you, if we click on the design, let's go over here and click, it'll say down here selected, and it says 5.5 by 8, which we know is 5.5 by 8.0. And it's important to capture that in decimals, because when you go to take that design into Silhouette, Silhouette is going to reference it as a decimal. So you want to be able to convert it in that way. So that's going to be 5.5 by 8.0. Okay. So we are going to save it. We're going to save it on G. We'll save it on G. Save as. I've already saved it. So we saved it on G as Faith Heart 5.5 by 8. And it's a PDF file. Okay. So we saved it there. And next, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Artipelli. So this is Artipelli, and that's ARTAPLI. And this software is a free online embroidery software. It allows you to convert an embroidery file into an SVG file, and it's just a good tool to have in your toolbox for embroidery. If you get an embroidery design, you can always make it in whole or in part a applique by just converting it to an SVG. Many embroidery softwares allow you to convert an SVG into an applique. So that's the whole point of why you would be doing that. In our case, we're using it because we also can use the SVG in our Cricuts and on lasers and things like that. So you're going to put it over and do your rhinestone building from there. So that's why we're creating it into an SVG. Okay. And so we need to go down, and here we browse, and we know that we saved it in G. So we're going to go to G. And while in G, we're going to go down to the Faith Heart, the one that is 5.5 by 8. We will click. We could have double clicked, but open. And then it is processing the stitches and building the SVG previews for us. So once that file is completed, what we are going to do is we are going to download the zip file. Okay, so you'll see that over this way, and you just want to download the zip, and you'll see it up here when it's ready. You'll be able to click right here, right here. So you're just going to click here and download it, and it is here. We're going to put it in our downloads so we know where to find it. Okay, and that'll be where we're going to find it in a few seconds, because we're getting ready to go over to Silhouette where we will grab it. And here we're going to upload that design. So we're going to go file, open, and it was the 5.8. It doesn't change this to a SVG, but it still comes in, you'll see. Okay. So there it is. It winds up letting us bring it in this way. So when it first comes in, I like to take it off of the mat and make our mat 12 by 12. 12 by 12. I just wanted it to be a standard mat. Okay. All right, so that's our standard mat. Now I'm gonna bring the design over, and I'm just gonna rotate it around just so that we can see it in its regular orientation. Okay. So what we do first when we get in here is make sure that our sizing hasn't changed. Okay. So it should be 5.5 by 8.0. So we want to go up here and go up this way. We want to go up here to right here. And we just want to unlock this and make this what we know it should be, which is 5.5. Put the 5 in there and then hit enter. And then we're going to put 0 and hit enter. And now we're going to lock it back. And now it's back to what we know it should be. Okay. So, that's what that design should be. It should be a width of 5.5 and a height of 8.0. Okay, so now here's the fun part finally. So now we're going to add some rhinestones. So I'm using a business edition. You have to have a business edition in order to add your rhinestones. Okay, so we're going to click this to select it. Okay, so here's the offset, and we don't want this or this. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the SVG out the center, and we're going to release compound, and then that allows us to be able to select these things and delete them individually. And we don't have anything that is floating separately, so we really don't need to regroup because this is only one thing still anyway. Okay, if it was a couple, we would have to regroup. So now we want to select this, and we want to select the edge rhinestones and make sure that it says 0.039 there. Okay, and it does. And then we want to add another offset, and these didn't change. We want to go up 1 to 0.125. Okay, then we want to select another, and again the other things didn't change, just go up again. We are going to select another, and we are going to go up one more time. Now you don't have to. You can, if you want to leave it tight for a second, you can do a second row of tight, or you can just go straight up. It's up to you. It's your design. Add another, and this can get as full as you like. Totally up to you. So I'm going to leave this second one, or I should say third or fourth one. I want it to stay at the 0.375, just my choice. You can do what you want with yours. And then my next one, I'm actually going to let it go to the 500, just so I get a little scatter. And then this one can be 6. I think that's enough. I think right now, if we look, let's see, how many rhinestones do we have? we have 488 rhinestones. And we now want to save this file here as a SVG. But before we do, we need to see what this file says it is. And it says that it is 7.83, 7.883, excuse me, which is in inches by 10.375. Okay. And the 10.375 is the width and the other is the height. The reason why we need to do that is because just like when we brought this in here, we need to take, I cut it on the Cricut Ventura, so we need to save this as a SVG, and then we'll upload it into Cricut. So file, save as, so we're on file, save as over here in this corner, save the hard drive. And I'm going back into that same spot. And I'm going to save it as an SVG. Because the SVG allows us to cut on a Cricut or on a laser. Okay. So we're going to save it here. And we want to add one here that this is the rhinestone. Okay. So we know which one it is. All right. Now we can close this. And we're going to open up Cricut. Okay, so over here, Cricut, do a new project. And we're going to, all right, so I want to continue. And I want to upload an image. I'm going to browse. I know it's here, and it is the 5.5 rhinestone right here. There it is. And I meant to type the number. So I typically would type the number right below the design. I should have typed that 7.883 height by 10.375 width. I should have typed that below it. So when it came over, I didn't have to figure out what the size of it was. So I'm gonna upload this. And it is showing us a little bit off. So we are going to unlock. There we got it. It's so important that we keep these sizes the same for this to come out the way we want it to. And it's the same way even when you buy a design file off of Etsy or something, you got to make sure that you keep that file the right size in order for everything to work out. So it's 10.375. So 375 and 7.883. Okay. I'm gonna lock it. So that's the exact measurements from what we had in Silhouette. So then this would be ready to send, cut it on your flock, and brush your rhinestones in. So now all I have to do is go and do my embroidery. You want to do your embroidery first, and then you can go ahead and add your rhinestone. You can see we still have roughly the same numbers, the 5.53 and 8.02. So we're all good here. And I think this is about 24 minutes, okay? So I'm gonna do a black sweatshirt. And you want to use a cutaway with these designs. So when you're in Cricut, and just before you're about to print, you want to make sure that you attach it. So I just kind of went right down here. This was unchecked, and I just went on the paper clip and attached it. Prior to that, if you don't do that, it will give you several layers. So if I want to make it without doing that, you see how it gives me every single layer. That's not what I want. So let me go back here. And then you're going to attach it by doing that. When you're going to make it, you're just going to have that one. And I kind of put it right at the, and put it so that I wasn't at the edge. So it's right here. It's actually pretty good because this is the block that I left off. So I went with a flocked iron-on, and I did do more pressure. So I thought I had some actual flock. I didn't, so I wound up using some regular flock, and it actually cut pretty well. And I left the carrier sheet on by accident. I didn't mean to, but I'm glad I did, because instead of me having to clean the mat, it went right onto the sheet instead. So that wasn't a half bad mistake. So I'll let you see what it looks like when it gets done. So that cut really, really nice. Everything came out really nice, smooth cut. This was just a multi-pack of flock that I purchased. Okay, so if you don't have any extra rhinestone flock, a good alternate, this is just regular flock. It's not sticky in the back, it's just regular flock. Just remember the mirror. This is just a piece of like poster board or something, and it's thin enough for you to staple. So I'm just gonna kind of pull it gently. Okay, so I got my rhinestones. Let's do this. This is the embroidery design with the rhinestones overlaid at the press, ready to be completed. And this is the finished product. I hope you all found this video helpful. Thanks as always for watching Crystal's Diversity Creation. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, take care.